Show.
Hi, welcome to another episode of The High Press. I'm still here with Coach Piwe. Coach Piwe, you're welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah, just starting off, your impressions of the past games.
Well, it has been a good week again. Teams have been scoring. We have been seeing teams winning over 2 goals. And it is good for the league where we see teams that are scoring more than 2 goals. And there's fast-paced, high-paced football. A lot of teams are getting into their rightful element because some were still rusty. So it's been a good week this week.
Yeah, what are some of the key things that you've noted the past game? I think we've spoken about Chiefs. Can they maintain that speed, that high-speed attacking football?
Firstly, Chiefs is winning, at least.
At least there's something.
It's been a while since we've heard that Chiefs have won 2 in a row. And they've been able to score over 1 goal. We have seen there's a bit of consistency in their starting 11. I think Ntseki is trying to is at least getting his team to see who's playing where and who's combining with who's. Certain players have taken responsibility. Yeah. Like Pulemodi has come up. He has scored 3 goals, if I'm to be corrected. There's Botsani who's coming in with the assists. There's Dupree who's firing also. The defense is being stable. Peterse is putting in match performances after match performances. So I think they can be able to sustain it only if there's pure consistency in the team, in the lineup, and probably unforeseen injuries. If they are not there, then they are able to carry on.
So, Mamelodi Sundowns, do you think they'll be unbeaten the whole season, or?
I think for now, it's up to Sundowns on when they are going to drop it. Because we know where we can say Sundowns might lose here. It's only in the CAF Champions League. Okay. But in the league, I think that it's up to them. They can go undisputed.
But they've not yet hit the top form.
They have not. Like I said in the last time we spoke, even when Sundowns plays bad, they still win. Yeah. But they won't show you that they've played horribly. It's only those who watch the game and say, Sundowns played horribly. I think it is up to them to say, are they going to drop it or not? Because there's going to be a time where they will prioritize maybe African Super League and CAF Champions League over the PSL, but they want to finish the PSL quickly. Maybe they might drop at Nedbank or M10. They need to win it because it's still early. It's still really very early, and it's been a trophy that always eludes them. They've won it back then, but then I think they need to win it again. So it's going to be an interesting build-up for Chiefs and Mamelodi Sundowns.
Pirates, something you've seen?
Pirates are on the groove. They're on the groove. Like I said in the last time we spoke, when Pirates are bad, they are horribly bad. They just need to manage their consistency. They're on the groove, and Lepasa is firing, Mofokeng is firing, Maswanga is firing. The defense is okay. The midfield combination is being balanced now. We know who's playing with who. And I think Riviero knows his winning formula so far. So they've been strong so far, and I think for me they are favorites to go to the final.
But then again, my concern is the rotation. The coach doesn't seem to favor that, because what happens when Lepasa is injured? Who's going to replace him there?
Yeah, because Kevin Erasmus is not an out-and-out number 9, and he's still injured. There is still Evidence Mahopa, but who doesn't have the minutes under his belt.
And the striker from Cameroon, I don't know what's happening with
he's not going to play. I don't think he'll play. I think they need to vary their game in terms of the striker, but so far I think they still have to work with what they've got. The passer is firing, he's coming strong, and there's still Erasmus coming, there's still Lodge coming. Kapinga is not fit.
And injuries, coach, what happens there? Because injuries are part of the game. Then what's going to happen?
Exactly. I think that's where they have to maybe boost their squad with regards to their fitness regime. Like Kapinga can emulate what Masangwa is giving.
They still have Kimbudi.
They still have Baloni. They still have what I think Pirates need to do. Like I said, they need to get a fullback on the left.
Yeah.
What if Paseka Mako gets injured? Because Hoto, it causes you on the left back. But with Shandu and Manyani, it's best of both. They give what you expect from a fullback. So
they have the energy.
They have the energy for it. But Pirates are on the groove. I think favorites to go to the final.
Let's talk about this one. I think it's a bit concerning. Sean Bartlett. I think we spoke about the man from who resigned and is already here. Sean, add to the pressure.
Sean, I said he won't get relegated.
Yeah. 5 games now.
5 games now, no win, low scoring rate. The chance creation is low. I think I don't think it. Maybe after the international break, if he doesn't get it right, the club needs to take a decision.
So if you were the chairman of the club, you'd keep him?
I'd keep him until the international break.
Okay.
And if the international break, if he didn't deliver, after the international break, I'll fire him. So
give him like 2 games or 3 games?
No, I'll fire him in the international break because it's good to bring in a coach whilst it's the international break, because all of the Cape Town Spurs players will never make an international appearance.
Okay.
Most of them are old players. Most of them are freshly debutants of the league. So rather get a coach in these 2 weeks or in the international break to enforce certain tactical patterns or how they need to play. Then when they start playing. So I don't. It's tough for Sean Bartlett. It's horrible. So,
but I'm sure it's a phase that every coach faces in their coaching career.
Yeah.
Then if you're faced with something like this, how do you stop the losing streak?
I think he has to change how he plays, because we are a new promoted team.
Yeah.
You can't attack with high volumes like that. You are open at the back. You are playing with old and slow centre backs in Daniels and Nazir Ali.
So do you think they need to, maybe they should have bought someone?
Probably more reinforcements.
Yeah.
And another one, play a bit more cautious. Like look at how Polokwane City is playing.
Yeah.
They are more cautious. They are more counter-attacking approached. I was expecting them to lose to Sundowns 5-0 the last time they played.
Yeah.
But Sundowns beat them, but it was more of a respectable 2-0.
Yeah.
Their last 6 points that they've collected was more of, we are respecting this league, we will defend first, we will hold, and then we will punch after. But Cape Town Spurs want to punch first, and then I want to hold after. So maybe change the style, I think.
The formation.
Yeah, he plays with 2 strikers.
Yeah.
And in this league, when you're playing 2 strikers, you need to make sure that...
And they're not really that mobile, those strikers.
They're not mobile. You need to at least make it 5 in the midfield, They maybe a 5 or 4-5-1 to keep it stable there, to keep it iron solid in the midfield.
But I think the challenge with that one is they don't have... Nazir Ali is not that mobile, it's not energetic anymore.
Michael Morton is tired also, I think. He can be a second half player. Clinton Daniels also tired, gets overrun easily. So it's difficult there.
So they need to be active in the market.
And there's still much time. They have Buchanan, but Buchanan is more of like a slow tempo player. They need someone with energy. They need maybe players who have PSL experience. Mpamakola is a free agent. So Polokwane City got promoted because of Mpamakola. You can get someone like that. He's used to the environment of Cape Town. He can come there. They can recruit. Also, they can use a loan system, get players from loan in the PSL. And then in the January market, when it opens, they can release those players from loan and buy the true players that they want to buy. So I think Cape Town Spurs need to do that.
Caetano Tembo, the same.
I think the club, like I said, the club will never go far.
Yeah.
With Caetano Tembo.
Is it the way he prepares the team, the approach, or maybe?
I think style.
Okay.
The preparation, the coaching style is more actional. He waits for you to do something, and then
It's more like he sits back.
Yes.
And then wants to.
When you score him, he gets surprised that he has scored, and then he wants to do the next move instead of him being proactive. You know, like for example, team that's doing very well who are proactive but are a so-called small team, Golden Arrows. They have 10 points. They are proactive. They are attacking. They are very interesting to watch. Like I said in the first video that we made, I predict them to be in the top 8. Although they got hammered in the first rounds, but I still predict them to be in the top 8 because of how the coaches work, Vilagazi, how they produce the players, how they get raw talent and just put it out there and then they play. But with Richards Bay, I feel they have more resources than Arrows. They have better players than Arrows, better players in regards to experience in the PSL. But the coach, he is experienced, but he is the wrong fit in the team.
So it's more like a problem of a system, of a formation, of the approach.
That's the approach, the mentality of the coach, the approach of the games, and also how the team should be playing. I feel Richards Bay should be, in the KZN, should be one of the most attacking teams. Because we've seen Richards Bay from NFD coming to beat Chiefs like nobody's business, you know, playing good stuff. So I think they need to probably
after the international break or
now. It should be a now thing. It should be a now thing. It's nothing personal, but it should be a now thing because Richards Bay last season they were good and then they dropped. And if they continue like this, they're not going to collect as much points because they haven't played top teams yet. They played Sundowns only, and they haven't played the big three, other guys who are in the big three. And when those guys pick up momentum, it's going to be very, very difficult for them, and it's going to be difficult for them also when they are challenging other teams who are fighting with them at the bottom. For number 16, number 14, number 13. It will be a mini league there and it's going to be tough to come out.
So would you go for an experienced coach or more of an
rumors
coach?
We saw Ernst Middendorp watching their game. So I think they need an experienced coach who knows how to survive, and a coach who can score goals. I think they need that.
Then SuperSport United, what's happening? They're going up and then sometimes down.
And I predicted them to lose to win to Arrows.
And they lost 3-0.
It just turned around. I think with SuperSport, they have so much inconsistency, but it's a SuperSport United thing. They start inconsistently in the first round, then they pick up. You saw last year they were challenging for number 2, them and Pirates. They'll be okay. I think the injuries are still hammering them. They are still missing Grobler. He came back, but he's not at his fullest. So I think they will pick up maybe after 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's where we'll see SuperSport winning 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row. I think so. SuperSport United. I still predict them still predict them for top 3. Top 3 for me.
Coming now to Bafana, you happy with the selection?
I'm happy with the consistency. Not the chopping and change. I personally feel this is our team that will go to the Africa Cup of Nations because this is that time the selection has happened like this. I think it's players who we are familiar with. It's players I think who have done well in our last fixtures. So I think we are okay with this team. The back line is the same back line. The midfield, we know who will start. The forwards, we know who will start.
We know the right back.
We know the full back position. It will be disputed for, but we know.
But are you happy with this selection?
I am.
Is it better than Mutau? Is it better than Frosler?
Mobi. I feel Mutau is better than Mobi.
He's the best right back right now.
Yeah, better than Mobi. Some will challenge, will say Frosler. But there are full backs with certain profiles, the different profiles. Frosler gives you a good, solid attacking profile. Mobi gives you a good defensive profile.
Okay.
But I won't mention the game against Mbappe because it's a different.
I was gonna tell you about that.
It's a different level, that one. But Modao gives you two profiles at once. He gives you an attacking profile, he gives you a defensive profile, and he gives you a third profile, which is playing inside the midfield. He can invert, he can overlap, he can underlap, he can do good with 1v1s. So I think Modao should have gotten the nod. But maybe Hugo knows what he's doing, and we are in the AFCON because of that. So
I'm still not convinced with him. The final ball, not convinced. Defensively, I'm not comfortable with him in 1v1.
Like I said, I don't know. Maybe Hugo knows what he's doing. Maybe they will tell us what.
He's not playing, but he's picked.
I think with South Africa doesn't have a lot of left-footed central defenders, unless it's Lubusa and Ino, if I'm correct. Top level.
Okay.
Lebusa and Ino. At Chiefs they have Ditloka, but it's Botswana.
Yeah.
So Ino for Bafana plays as left fullback, but more as a left center back, into making it a 3. So he's more of that left fullback who's a left defensive fullback, not as a left attacking fullback. Also they brought him for sure for leadership qualities, that he has maybe influence in the change room or influence in his leadership style, you know.
Yeah.
So I think good, but he's very solid with the physicality, because when you go to AFCON, it's a physical match. Some would want Leke to play the fullback position, but I don't feel like
even Modiba can play there.
Aubrey is always caught to the problem with 1v1s. If you put Aubrey against the Sadio Mane, it's going to be a problem. And also we are going to the qualifiers for the World Cup, and we're playing Nigeria, and you saw how Nigeria has developed now, with the players going from England and coming to, Nigeria, Eze, Olise, Miniacho. If we put them 1v1 Modiba, it will be a problem.
So would you take the squad to AFCON? Or?
I'll take the squad to AFCON because it's a good physical team.
Yeah.
And it has people who are playing there. But I think there's people who are short who can still make that team.
Yeah,
if they're consistent.
My Lula is not there, Hlongwane is not there.
Yeah, Hlongwane must be there.
Yeah.
Cash must be there. And as a prize package from my picking.
Yeah.
Rele Mofokeng. I think.
I
think maybe the fans will
agree or disagree
with me, but Rele, I think for that element, because Lodge won't make the squad because he hasn't been playing, and also Saleng doesn't usually get the nod, but to play with people, one thing that the African positions can't play against with us.
Yeah.
They fail to defend our speed.
Okay.
We are too good for them with the speed.
But I'm more concerned at the back. Sandakulu doesn't have the pace. Is it more of... I
think maybe it's a cap thing, because CBC has been top.
Yeah.
The speed. Mvala is good, but the foul commitment is too high. Koki, I love Koki.
I think it should have been there.
I love Koki too much.
I'll take him over Sandakulu. Nothing against him, but I just think, hey.
I think Kulu would be a thing of he knows international football, how it works.
Yeah.
So it's more of a Mbazo Mokoena situation.
All right.
So the caps, they have been there. So I think Kulu is okay for now. The goalkeeping department, I'm happy with it also. But we already know who's going to start. So yeah. it's okay for now. Mayfield, Tebza will start for sure.
Obas is still there.
Obas will start. I also like Leroux.
Yeah.
I like Leroux. Leroux can start for us, or maybe play Leroux and Mokoena and Obas, then push Pesitao as a number 10,
Okay.
Omshishi as a number 10, Uzwane, then push Tao on the right, then go aggressively on the left with someone who's quick also, then put Lepasa as a 9.
Just give me your Bafana 11. If you to pick it.
I think
for this upcoming friendlies.
I think
in goal we know Ronnie.
In goal, Ronnie. We'll go with Ronnie. On the left back we will put Mudiba.
Okay.
On the right back we have Mobi again. I'm working with what we have, right?
Yeah.
We have Mobi.
Central is there, can fit there.
Grant, we'll put him center defense.
Okay.
We'll put him with Shanda Kolo. Center defense. Then midfield will go with Debza.
Okay.
We'll put him with Obas. And then we'll actually, yeah, because Mvala plays, but I'll put Kekana. But Mvala we know he'll start. And then in the midfield we'll set Debza and Obas. 10 we put Zwane. We're playing a 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
Play Zwane. On the right wing we play Tao.
Okay.
On the left wing we play Mayambela.
Okay.
Mihlali Mayambela. Then the striker we go with Ziggs.
So no Lyle Foster.
No, we go with Ziggs. We go with Ziggs because he's so aggressive. I think Ziggs helps us a lot without the ball. Without the ball, he's amazing. I think he's one of the best pressing number 9s in the PSL after Shalulile, because Shalulile can go for the whole 90 minutes. But SA strikers pressing off the ball, off the ball movement, Ziggs is number 1, and he has improved massively. Credits.
And he's in form.
Yeah,
and I like the positioning, the confidence.
It's a Kevin and coaching point. The strikers always know the positioning.
Yeah.
So I think credit to Kevin Hunt for teaching him that. So I think Ziggs is a number 9. Then second half you'll bring in your Salings, your Leroux, Saling for the counter-attacks. You see why I wanted Rele Mufokeng for the counter-attacks. Someone who can make the team surprisingly. Maswanga, you can make the team. Surprisingly, I'm saying, because he can come in where Tembo is playing. Because it's a similar profiling. I'm not saying they are playing the same. Similar profiling. 2 number 10s who can control space, can control the ball, can control the tempo. I think Maswanga is actually a revival for Pirates. I think he can make it to the squad if he's consistent.
Yeah, coming to the MTN8, you are a Chiefs coach. How do you approach the game?
I think Chiefs need to play on the transition.
Okay.
Because in the last 2 games they've been using transition and fast-paced, high-paced football.
So we'll keep the top 3.
The top 3, they need to stay there.
Dupree will start, and then Bulemodi,
Botsane, they start. They shouldn't rotate a lot in the midfield. But they need to go counter-attack and need to be very compact in their spaces, in their midfield, because Sundowns always dominate the midfield, and they need to accept that Sundowns will have the ball for a long time. For a long time, and they need to accept that Sundowns wouldn't allow you to punch them 2, 3, 4 times, and then you don't score. If you don't score, they wouldn't allow you to punch them for the 6th time, for the 7th time. Chiefs need to make sure that they are clinical in goal. Chiefs needs to make sure that they do not commit certain technical mistakes. You saw when they played against Sundowns, they passed into the passing trap. They pressed and then they scored.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that, because you're talking about being compact and everything, but you know that there's that element of a mistake.
Chiefs element of mistake. They must not even try and build up from the back. They must not.
So it's more like a route 1 football.
Beyond,
go beyond, front, and then they just run.
Go beyond every time, because you can start at the back, but you do not overemphasize. They must just play out a bit and then go beyond. I'm not saying every time Sundowns presses they will get the ball, but there are certain moments where Sundowns will bite you and bite you hard.
Okay.
They must play beyond, and they must look to play beyond to the front line. And someone who can make the game very efficiently for Chiefs is Umduduzi Danzani. If Nduduzi Tanzani in that game plays forward passes, every time thinks forward pass. He doesn't play sideways. Forward pass, he makes Dupree run, because Dupree, one thing he'll do is run the whole game.
Yeah.
And we know that Bartlett is not going to play. I heard from Rolani's interview. We know Lebusa is going to play. Mvala might play. Kutsia might play. Those three guys.
Sorry, coach. Would you then target Ulibusa because of the lack of pace?
Pace.
Yeah.
Mvala, pace.
But why don't you just get someone who's thinking like Coach Mourinho, who just pack a pass and then
counter?
Take it from there.
It's tough because only play Sundowns.
Is it a question of energy, maybe?
One, that might be.
Yeah.
Number two is what does the coach tell them? Where do we have to counter attack? You know that between Lebusa, River, and Mvala, Lebusa is the slowest because firstly it's age.
Yeah.
Number two, of course, genetically he's slow. If you go to the speed with Mvala, he'll go with you, but Mvala might cost a penalty.
Yeah.
River, you'll take him on, but 1v1 River is not good.
So it's more like you have players that you select that you know what,
so
that's this player.
Yeah, so when you see Sundowns, how they build up, when they open up for the ball, they leave three at the back. So one thing as a coach, as Mlefenseki, if I'd say, is that let's go 3v3 up front. Let everyone have his own man. You take that one, you take Botsane takes this one, Modi takes this one, Dupree takes this one, and we see how we come out from that. Because if you have a 3v3, that means 3v3 equals to 1v1s everywhere on the pitch. So I think Chiefs needs to play on the counter attack, and that's the only possibility for me to win the first leg or the second leg.
Would you keep Frosler at left back, or
I think Frosler Quinica has worked for himself. I think
at the right back.
Yeah, bring in.
But it doesn't offer much going forward.
He doesn't have to even try and go forward, because if it goes forward, if it booms forward, therefore there's space for Shasha, there's space for Ribeiro, there's space for Walende, there's even space for Mandieta.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has to go. I think maybe it has to be a profiling of fullbacks that don't attack high. Maybe they can attack with Frozer's side a bit.
Okay.
And then Quinica can join in and make in a back three.
So make it a more of a 3-5-2 maybe.
Yeah, 3-5-2 or 3-4-3.
Yeah.
And then Martin and Danzan will just control the midfield with Castillo there.
So you allow them to have the ball and then you sit back, wait for them to make a mistake, or maybe do you have a phase where you're like, let's engage now?
Yeah, Chiefs will have to play with their moments, because there's no way Sundowns will dominate the game in 90 minutes. There will be a time where Chiefs will attack. There will be waves in the game where it will be Chiefs' wave, it will be Sundowns' wave, and it will be Sundowns' wave for 50 minutes. Then it will be Chiefs' waves for like 10 minutes. So it will be those kind of waves, and in those waves we've seen when Sundowns were playing Chiefs. It was a wave of Sundowns for 50 minutes, and then it was a Kaizer Chiefs waves only for 10 minutes, and Chiefs got a goal. So one thing Chiefs needs to do is to eliminate those technical mistakes, eliminate passing the ball unnecessarily, and then also Sundowns. One thing they need to eliminate if they want to win the game, they need to be very, very, very deadly, because they just compliant sometimes, and they just lenient, and they take time to kill the game with the third goal.
Yeah.
And you saw with Kaizer Chiefs, when they were playing Kaizer Chiefs, they were taking time to kill the game, and Chiefs just woke up, and then they just scored. And Sundowns had to react from that, but it was Chiefs' technical mistake also again. So I think if Sundowns cancel that, they might win the game. If Chiefs cancel what I just mentioned, they will definitely win the game.
So Sundowns, is it more like they just keep the same lineup, they just play their way?
Play their way, then business-like performance. It should be a business-like performance, because what's worse now is that it's a game of consequence. And cup football, you can't determine cup football. You can't determine that this is going to happen. But I feel if they keep this, Sundowns will definitely and respectfully win the game that way. But if Chiefs maintain what I just said, they have a chance.
So what's the score?
First leg or double legs?
Yeah, the first leg.
First leg.
You know who's going to the final?
Who's starting home?
It's Chiefs.
Chiefs. No. I'll give it to Sundowns 3-1.
The first leg.
3-1 to Sundowns. A very respectable and controlled 3-1.
Sure. That's a bold statement. But I know they'll do it.
3-1.
They'll do it only if they show up Sundowns, because sometimes they become complacent and then that's what happens.
I think 3-1 because definitely 3-1 because of they are on the roll. They're not performers Sundowns. I think they're more businessmen.
But we need a Mourinho kind of
I think
to defeat Sundowns, because it reminds me of Inter Milan and Barcelona.
Yes.
You see that final?
Yeah.
Barcelona had all the possession.
But yeah, I think if Chiefs could do that masterclass.
Yeah.
But it will need Abo Modi and Botsane to be 3 times better than what they were.
Sacrifice Mtanzana, put on Ngobo just to contain.
Or maybe Matt has been underperforming.
Yeah, true. So
I think if we bring, I don't know.
Is it the question of maybe the squad? They don't have an impactful player like.
Tembo can be an aggressor, but he hasn't been performing well against Sundowns. Ngobo doesn't give proper defensive. Young Ngobo doesn't give proper defensive orientation. Maybe if we bring in old Ngobo to play as a holding midfielder with Castillo.
Just to disturb. Because I'm thinking that's the only way they can go about
it. But I think they just need to stick to what they have.
Yeah.
I think and Chiefs can score in set pieces now. I think Chiefs can score with a set piece. I think they have the profile for it. But also Sundowns can score with a set piece. So I think...
so for this one, Sundowns takes it.
Sundowns
3-1.
3-1 for sure.
For sure. Okay, Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates. How would you approach it? I want your approach first.
Pirates,
how would you approach it? As a Stellies coach, Steve Parker. How would you
Steve, we go with the same plan. We watch the previous game against Pirates. We'll see where we can hit them, and where we can hit them is the space behind the fullbacks. So we know Monyani will go up. Mako will go up, or Hoto will go up. When they up the space behind there, we use Hudeman's speed, we use Reina's speed. We put the ball beyond, and we know Stellenbosch are maybe top 2, top 3 teams who are very quick in the PSL. So I think
transition football.
Transition football. We hold back, do it the Mourinho way.
Yeah.
We hold back, we sit back, we defend, and it's difficult when Stellies scores you first.
Yeah.
It's very difficult.
So would you play Marco or Hoto?
Marco. It has to be Marco. I think it has to be Marco because.
Then on the right.
We start with Shando.
Stick with Shando.
Shando has been amazing. I like Shando. I like him more than Omonyane.
Is it maybe because of the energy that he brings, the final ball?
Energy and understanding that the first principle of a defender is to defend.
Yeah.
Not the secondary job, because the secondary job is to now attack.
Yeah.
But Shando does it well. The duels that he wins, amazing. And then the way he attacks behind the opposition's defender, the blind run is amazing. And the way he works with Saling, he knows when Saling is going in, he goes out. When Saling is out, he goes in. I think Shando as the right back for sure.
So the goalkeeper, you keep the
China. Yes, I think Ofori will be a Champions League keeper. China will be more of a DSTV Prem and Cup keeper.
And going forward, to keep the same.
Keep same backline, keep the same midfield, keep the same attacking midfield line. You keep Zakes.
But I'm sure it will be an exciting game because of the energy of Stellenbosch.
Exciting, very hard-hitting game.
Yeah.
But Pirates will win the first leg.
Score?
I'll give them. Are they starting away?
Yeah.
I'll give them a good. They hit hard, Pirates these days. I'll give them 3-1 also.
3-1 away.
3-1 away with 3
So
away
they'll
goals.
match the energy.
They'll go hard.
They'll match the energy.
They have to go hard, yeah. I think so.
So Stellenbosch will just go pound for pound with Orlando Pirates, or
they will punch, but Pirates will punch first.
Because I'm more concerned with TBC. Okay. The pace? Will they be able to contain Raiders?
The thing is, that's why, because if you see the first game, Pirates played with Manyan on the first game. And the counter-attack came from Manyani's side because Manyani was found wanting there. But Shando knows, if Shando plays, he knows where to be at a specific time. But it was still like the second game.
Yeah.
They were trying to find out who's playing where. But I think Pirates now, they are solid, those guys.
So it's 3-1.
3-1 Orlando Pirates first leg.
So the final will be Orlando Pirates and Sundowns.
What if Chiefs punch? What if Chiefs punch second?
There's no way.
What if Chiefs?
There's no way.
What if Chiefs punch?
I'm still not convinced. Because if Pulemodi is injured, if your Potan is injured, then who's gonna come in? Who's gonna offer you that same energy?
Saile will come in.
I'm still not convinced.
Who's the other winner?
Because what is his best position there?
Saile is not a 9. He's not a winger. We can't say.
Then what is it?
Chivairo is there also.
Then the midfield, what's going to happen? Because now Umat, I'm still not convinced with Matt. Still okay, it's good, but
Tebe is there.
Hey, coach. Hey, that's it for our episode. Until the next one, sharp.
The HighPress Show.